Alright, the squad, don't speak, just nod. Today I'm bringing back the How Bad Can It Be belt. Smack yourself until it's felt. It's the show where you, the viewer, recommend in the comments a bad wrestling episode and its winner stays on. The current champion of the How Bad Can It Be belt is an episode of Thunder from May 3rd, 2000. This particular episode of Thunder was consistently bad the whole way through, minus a short Scott Steiner promo. This show was completely out of control and nothing made any sense. And for some reason, people only ever recommend episodes of WCW for this series. So in line with tradition, today's challenger for the belt is an episode of Nitro from May 22nd, 2000. May 2000 seems to be a rough month for WCW. I had a glance at the card and wow. This features strange matchups, stipulations and outcomes. It's either going to be really bad or really good. There's only one way to find out. Smack yourself until it's felt. It's the How Bad Can It Be belt. The show starts with a limo pulling up. It's Vince Russo who's doing a funeral for Ric Flair's career. Also in the limo is a wild slapnuts appear.
Jeff Jarrett.
They are fake crying and talking about this fake funeral. Why does Russo always do funeral angles? Oh no, not the cat. I can't stand this guy. Never understood how this guy got such a push in late WCW. Well, because of Bischoff. We're actually starting out with a match here, which must have been pretty rare for these times. Booker T is facing the cat in a weapons match for some reason. Booker hits a spin kick straight away and sends the cat out the ring. Cat throws water in his face and considers using a chair, but apparently he can't use it because it's not a martial arts weapon. Does that mean bricks are legal then? I always see them chopping through bricks. God, I hope Booker T hits the cat with a brick in the gut. He doesn't. Instead, the cat attacks Booker with nunchucks. We're reliably informed on commentary that the cat is the karate instructor for 16-year-old son of Eric Bischoff, Garrett Bischoff. Well, if he turns up, I'm done. The cat comically beats Booker up for ages. He's very proud of his martial arts skills. Booker starts throwing punches to loud cheers, but he's shut down straight away with more shots, which actually sounds really painful. The cat now has a kendo stick. Booker desperately tries to fight back, but shots with the stick calm him down. Garrett is mentioned once again on commentary. I'm going to turn this off in a minute. Booker randomly hits a bookend, which has little to no effect. The Harlem sidekick has more effect. The bookman isn't done and hits a spine buster. He starts using his stick. Sean Stasiak rushes the ring attacking Booker. He's a goon and Booker takes him out easily with a scissors kick and a steel chair. But the cat sort of kicks the chair into Booker, and that's the 3. The cat beats Booker T. The Misfits and Action stop a 2-on-1 beatdown. This crowd is actually hot tonight. We'll see if they're still hot by the end of this. Well, that's one weird result, Booker T losing to the cat. Eric Bischoff walks out, but fortunately he doesn't bring Garrett with him. Instead he brings Kimberly, which is a massive upgrade. He addresses Booker T and the Misfits in action. He says he's one phone call away from changing the face of WCW. Yeah, sure you are, Bischoff. What are you going to do, bring back the NWO again? Bischoff asks them all to join the New Blood. Hugh Morris says he's got 3 words for Bischoff: kiss our ass. Major Guns moons at Bischoff. Well, that can't possibly be bad. Bischoff smirks and leaves. In the back, the Millionaires Club are upset that Nash isn't here yet. Sting says that's his gimmick. In the back, Bischoff says he's fired Booker T. Somewhere else backstage, Vince Russo is crying into a coffin. The New Blood is all here calling Flair old. Daphne has a Flair cuddly toy and she's screaming at it. Another car pulls up. It's Terry Taylor with Reed Flair. Why is everybody turning up late to this show? Now we've got a Terry Funk press conference where he announces that he's going to be making an announcement on Nitro that he's going to retire. What's the point in the press conference then? Daphne is out now with her Flair doll. Daphne gets on the mic to moan at Crowbar. They've been arguing over who is the real Cruiserweight champion. She calls Tammy Sitch a skank, which is correct. Crowbar makes his way out with the title. They have a tug of war over the belt, but then it's turned into a match. But instead of a wrestling match, they do a fun war and rock, paper, scissors. They do eventually start wrestling as Daphne hits a DDT. Stacy Keibler Miss Hancock is at ringside. Daphne gives Crowbar a wedgie. She dives and hits a Franken Screamer, but it's just a 2. Crowbar wakes up and does a snap mirror and a splash. He's unsure if he wants to actually fight Daphne though. Chris Candido rushes the ring and so does Tammy. Crowbar and Daphne take them out. Crowbar hits a release German on Candido. For some reason it doesn't hurt him. Crowbar takes a chair off Tammy, but he pays for it with a missile dropkick into the chair. Candido also hits a sit-out tombstone which is supposed to be on a chair, but he accidentally kicks the chair away as he does the move. Daphne pins Crowbar and she is now the Cruiserweight champion. She celebrates for about 0.3 of a second and they cut away to show Horace Hogan getting a massage by Tori Wilson. In the car park. God, half this show's in the car park. Booker T is leaving because he's been fired. Also, Ralphus and Norman Smiley are washing cars. Back in the arena, Billy Kidman is moaning at Bischoff. They go looking for Horace Hogan. Kidman is jealous and wants to fight Horace. Bischoff punches a referee in the gut and tells Torrie Wilson to be the referee. Could he not have just asked for the referee's shirt instead of punching him? Kidman and Horace brawl towards the ring. Bischoff and Torrie are still following. Horace weakly misses a clothesline into the ring pole and Kidman hits a bulldog on the outside. In the ring for the first time, Kidman nails a dropkick. This is all being used for hype of his upcoming match with Hogan. Kidman slips out of a back body drop but is nailed with a big boot. Horace also hits him with a choke slam with authority. No pin is made, instead Horace now has a table. Horace is about to send him through a table when Hogan starts miserably stomping out to the ring. Kidman reverses a powerbomb into a facebuster and looks to dive Horace through a table. But for the third match in a row, we have interference as Hogan climbs into the ring and throws Kidman off the top into Horace through the table. Hogan puts Kidman on top of Horace and forces Torrie to count. Now we get a Hogan promo. Hogan tells Bischoff he's a piss ant and he will easily beat Kidman on pay-per-view. He calls Bischoff a piece of shit and leaves. In the back at the funeral, we see inside the coffin, there's a giant nose and some jewels. Oh no, outside in the car park again, a lowrider pulls up. It's Eddie Guerrero. No, it's not. It's just Conrad and the Filthy Animals. Smiley begs to wash their car. Out walks the hardcore champion Terry Funk. He's here to make an announcement. He's about to make his announcement when we switch to the New Blood with Bischoff saying shut Terry Funk off. His old man rant is cut off by Shane Douglas screaming at him to hurry up with his announcement. Funk says hell yes, he's heard that before somewhere. But it's a swerve and Terry Funk announces that he's now a granddad. Douglas is livid and says he's supposed to be retiring. Funk agrees that he is retiring, but not until next month. A man called Brian Siegel in WCW head office apparently cried when Funk told him he was retiring. But it's yet another swerve because he's actually retiring in a year and 1 month. Because he's just signed a year's contract extension. The New Blood beat him down 4-on-1. Douglas hits a pile driver which causes Terry Funk's daughter to cry and run into the ring. The beating continues as Tammy forces the daughter to watch. Douglas does another pile driver and makes the pin cover for the 3. They steal Funk's hardcore title and ring gear and they leave. More car washing. Ralphus has a pretty funny t-shirt though which says say no to crack. We go from something wacky and stupid to something supposedly serious. Chris Kanyon talks from a hospital bed. I like the way they've stuck a sticker on him so the viewer knows who he is. Kanyon said he might not ever walk again after being thrown off a cage by Mike Awesome. That very man is out now in a wheelchair mocking Kanyon. He doesn't have a name sticker stuck to him though. He rambles on for a bit bragging about ending Canyon's career. It's not very good. The Wall interrupts his rant and this will be a tables versus ambulance match. Wall quickly hits a big boot. He also hits a running front slam. No idea what the rules are here, but it doesn't seem to be pinfalls. Awesome stops the 10 punches in the corner but can't powerbomb the Wall. Seconds later, Awesome throws the Wall out of the ring and through a table. The bell rings, but the commentary team keeps screaming it's not over. The Wall completely no-sells his fall through the table and they fight on the ramp. Shane Douglas's music starts playing and he hits the Wall with a pipe. As the match is apparently still going, that's 4 matches in a row of interference. The Wall is dragged through the arena until an ambulance comes into shot, but Diamond Dallas Page is here with a chair to even up the odds. He throws Awesome into the ambulance. Is it over? No idea. The ambulance drives off, but the Wall is still fighting Shane Douglas. The Wall chokes Douglas, screaming, "I'll kill you," and then the segment randomly ends. Is Douglas okay? What happened? Talking of deaths, Russo's New Blood crew are pushing the casket towards the ring. Smiley and Ralphus are still washing cars, not sure what the point is. Sad, generic music plays as it's time for the funeral. Why did Russo love David Flair so much? We've already seen the casket interior, so not sure what the point is in showing it again. Russo will cut a promo. He is here to celebrate the death of Ric Flair's career. Flair had a heart attack on Thunder or something. Russo says it's Flair's fault that this happened because he told Flair he was too old to wrestle anymore. He brags about holding the WCW title, it's actually vacant at this point, and then he hands the title to the chosen one, Jeff Jarrett. This apparently counts as a title change. Great. Russo puts a Rolex in the casket, but Kevin Nash suddenly rises out the bottom of it. It's poorly done because you can see that he came from underneath the casket. And come on, how many times have we seen this in wrestling? Kevin Nash beats up the New Blood and leaves Slapnuts laying. He steals the title and leaves. This is not a title change, although you would think it would be of this era of WCW. Russo cuts a screaming promo in the back demanding that Nash hand the title back before the end of the night. Pamela Paulshock starts saying something but the camera cuts away. Out next it's Scotty Steiner. Madeja and Shakira are cheerleaders. Steiner cuts a hometown promo. I have no idea what he said, but everyone seemed really happy about it. He does tell us that his friends have warned him that one day he might end up in jail. He hypes an asylum attack match and calls out Rick Steiner and Tank Abbott. He only gets the dog face gremlin. So this is going to be a match in this bizarre structure, but the match starts before it can be lowered. It looks like a bird cage. The only way to win is to knock your opponent out or make them say I quit. Well, this is a small structure. Scotty tries a belly to belly but forgot how small the structure was. The overhead belly to belly somehow works much better. The match is interrupted by Goldberg's music, but it's Tank Abbott doing an impression. He's billed as Tank Bird and he has bolt cutters. He fails to cut through the structure, so throws a tantrum and smacks out a referee. He presses a button to raise the cage. It will now be a 2-on-1 beatdown. The Wolfpack music hits and it's Kevin Nash again. Nash dinks the heels with the world title and it's over. Wow, what was the point in that structure for a 1-minute match? A complete waste of time and money. And I thought they said the only way to win was I quit or knockout. Apparently there is a third way and that's raising the cage up. Jarrett and Russo are still waiting for Nash to give the belt back. In the back, Pamela is also waiting on Kevin Nash. 5 seconds later he awkwardly appears. Nash challenges Jarrett to a title match tonight. Paul Shock is flustered. Reed Flair is giving Terry Taylor wrestling advice. Wonder if it's going to help him. Out now is Chuck Palumbo with R&B security. One of them is Alan Funk and the other is Sanders. Man, Palumbo looks generic. He's facing Diamond Dallas Page. Palumbo flexes at Page, who isn't scared. Page almost beats him in seconds with a belly to belly. Page is all fired up. He hits a sit-out powerbomb for a 2 count. Palumbo kicks him in the nutsack to slow him down and a super kick. The crowd are now in silence. You can hear a pin drop. Elizabeth slaps Palumbo and Page almost rolls him up. Yet another match with interference. We get a double down and Kimberly walks out of a baseball bat. She nails Liz with the bat as the security look confused. Page does a uranagi but no ref. Oh no, Mike Awesome is back. The ref is still distracted as Awesome hits Page with the neck brace thing. Palumbo puts on a torture rack and wow, Palumbo beats Diamond Dallas Page. Lots of weird results on this show. Lex Luger is confused on what to do. The special Kimberly stops him climbing into the ring and he takes a bat shot to the face. Man, the new blood suck. It's too many new guys at once. No time to build anyone up and make the audience care. The ambulance is back and Lex is being loaded into it. Elsewhere, Kimberly laughs at Liz. Liz had no idea that Lex is going to hospital. Ric Flair's music plays, but it's just Terry Taylor and Reed Flair. This poor kid looks terrified. He calls out David Flair, but Terry Taylor tells him to speak up because he's mumbling. Out comes David and the Cruiserweight champion Daphne. Reed begs David to come home and stop acting so crazy. Then Daphne smashes something over Terry Taylor's head. Reed kicks David in the nutsack, and he tries a side headlock but gets shoved down. David puts on a figure 4 until some dorks break it up. Well, that was something. Vampiro out next to face Bumby Hulk Hogan. I don't feel like there's many Hogan matches on Nitro at this point. They're not hanging about here. Vampiro spin kicks him but the Hulkster won't go down. Hogan stumbles around looking very old and falls out the ring. Vamp dives on him with an axe smash. Vampiro uses a chair on the outside, I guess it's no DQ. Hulkster comes back as they trash the announce desk. In the ring now, Hogan is using the belt. The commentary team point out that you might see pointless DQs in other companies, but not in WCW. It's not really something to brag about. Hogan is all fired up now and hits elbow drops. He starts biting Vampiro. This feels like a strange matchup. Hogan stomps in his nutsack with Vampiro doing a funny sail job. The big boot and the world famous leg drop connects, but Hogan doesn't want the pin though and keeps smacking Vampiro one. Oh no. Billy Kidman rushes the ring and hits Hogan with a blowtorch, and Vampiro pins Hulk Hogan. What? He had his arm under the rope, but Vampiro still pinned Hulk Hogan. Sting enters to prawn music and he takes out Vampiro. So many weird, unexpected results on this show. Trust Hogan to only do the JOB in the way that he knows how to. We finally get a payoff to the car washing angle. The gifted Glenn Gilberti, how is he gifted, and the rest of the filthy animals are unhappy about the job done on the car. MIA turn up to save Ralphus, and Hugh Morris demands that Major Guns gives him a kiss of life. Well, that was worth the build up throughout the show. Definitely felt like a Russo angle. He had a hand in that one for sure. Right, let's get this world title main event over and done with. Slapnuts defends the belt that was just handed to him by Russo against Kevin Nash. And here comes Russo with his full security squad. Oh great, Russo is also the guest referee. Nash hits a big side slam that Russo refuses to count. He dumps his nappy of fear and runs away. Slappy hits Nash with a steel chair which Nash no-sells and clotheslines him out of the ring. Nash takes out Jarrett on the outside and turns his attention to Russo again. He turns around to a Jarrett title belt smack. Russo tries to fast count that one, but it's still just a 2. Nash is then about to powerbomb Jarrett and Russo sprays something in Nash's eyelid. Steiner's siren plays, but it's too soon, they've missed their cue. Jarrett does the stroke, and now Steiner runs out. Once again, Russo sprays in Steiner's face. Steiner is handcuffed to the ropes. Russo tries to pull Jarrett on top of Nash when Nash starts choking Russo. Nash tries to force Russo to count 3, although that doesn't work. Kevin Nash angrily beats up the security team and tries to powerbomb Russo on the outside. But a liquid starts falling from the ceiling, and they miss. It's like watching AEW. Slapnuts hits Nash with a guitar and Russo counts the 3. What a mess, and I'm not talking about the liquid substance. Bischoff announces that they're going to clash again on pay-per-view for some reason. Jarrett says he is the chosen one, and as the show goes off the air, he says, "Choke on that, slap ass." Wow, what a state this show was. Look, the matches were appalling, the angles were appalling, everything was strange. But they did get their stars on the show, and it helped. It wasn't boring, no matter what you want to say about it. So no, this isn't the worst episode of wrestling I've ever seen. But if you know a worse episode for the How Bad Can It Be belt, smack it down in the comments until it's felt.